What's up, kids? What's up, kids? What's up? Yo, yo, yo. I'm back. Okay, here we are, guys. Welcome to the Takeover. What is it now? People are saying that we are 31 days into quarantine or day 31. Is that what we're saying? I don't know what it I guess that's what legally it's been. When they're like, hey, everybody has to stay inside. Okay? For me, the last time I did stand-up, March 13th. So, it has been 31 days, yeah. You know, I don't know if that's exactly 31 days, but the date is the same. So here we are. We're back on the Takeover. Also, thank you for everybody that's been watching and listening. Obviously, last episode got a lot more views than what I've been getting because Chris tweeted it out, which was really cool of him. But it was cool, man. I really liked that episode. This is probably the final part of 10 years later, kind of wrapping up on what we were talking about earlier. Before we get into that, guys, leave your 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. Those help a lot. Subscribe if you can. If you can, you could subscribe. There's no reason you can't. And also follow or subscribe to my YouTube page and watch all the videos and share them. And also a lot of messages from people that reached out to me and were like, "Hey man, I really love the episode." And it was inspiring, and that's awesome. If I even inspire one person, it's all worth it for that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind messages. Thank you guys for the support, and I'm glad this is helping people, for even people who aren't even stand-up comedians. So check out my Patreon. It's go to patreon.com/thetakeover. We have different tiers with different benefits when shows get back around. You can get free tickets to upcoming shows. If you are a higher tier, we have some new members, and I'll probably do a Patreon episode after this for them because Patreon producers get extra episodes. So just to cover all that stuff, but thanks for listening, and here we are. We're just trying to we're here. I don't know. I've been going on walks here and there. The other day I went on a long walk with my buddy. We went for like 2 hours. We went like 7 miles. We were distant. We were wearing masks. You could do stuff like that. The weather's getting better. I don't know. I mean, hopefully for us it is. It's getting better for us. Come on, headphones. Work a little bit better. But okay. I mean, we could just jump right into this next part, the final part of 10 years later, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, the whole idea is at the end of this episode, we're here, present day. You're here. You're part of the Takeover. You're part of the team, and I'm your coach, and we're going to win championships because now that I took you on the journey, you've come along the whole journey from the beginning of this podcast when it was Coach Lenoci to the second part where we were interviewing other comedians that I met when I first started to this part, and then we just go from there. Then we just get nasty. We're going to get nasty. Hi, Mom. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the friends who listen. But, yeah, we're going to get nasty. And I don't mean really nasty, but I don't know. I'm trying to get nasty. I'll tell you that. You can't meet up with anyone. But, boy, do we all want to. People are getting real. See, I think about my mom listening, so I'm like, forget about that. We're not going to talk about that. But, so let's get into it, because this is kind of cool, because this episode comes out, it's the same day as Chris D'Elia's special comes out on Netflix, and we kind of I want to talk a lot about this episode is the Follow the Leader tour and how we toured a lot, but this specific tour in the last 2 years was amazing. I mean, we hit over 100 cities. I mean, so many shows.
Hey, you guys ready? Welcome to the Follow the Leader tour, guys. Put your hands together for Chris D'Elia. Let me hear.
It was pretty amazing. I learned a lot. But before I even got to that, I think I ended that episode, I started opening for Chris, and I was going to get into the Montreal process. I think I'll go into that a little bit. I mean, I documented that a lot. That's kind of when I stopped documenting stuff as much. I documented the process of Montreal. And at this time, I had even made like a little video for my manager, how I was like, hey, this is my audition tape for Montreal. Like a little video to make him laugh. I put together a little montage of different talents that I have that I think you think is valuable for you. Ching, what was that? Money that you could be making with me on your team. So let's maybe get to work. I hope you enjoy. Here it is.
Oh, mate, some tea! Who would like some tea? Come into the kitchen, have tea with me. Oh, Sonomi!
Go Dodgers.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be here.
My name's Mike. So what's everybody up to today? Yeah. Look at this. Look at these couples. What did you guys meet on Tinder?
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. My name's Michael Lenoci.
Drive safe. Hi guys, my name's Michael. I'll be your server this evening.
What do you want?
You want the truth? Value.
Oh, you know, if you lied, you would have an easier time getting what you wanted.
Maybe I think I have that. I'll just post that. I'll post that here too. But like I was so excited. I thought, and you know what's funny is so many comedians will tell you about this. They'll be like, it's not a big deal. Montreal, JFL, New Faces, was such a big deal for comedy maybe in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then over a year it lost its steam because there's festivals all over and people, industry sees comics a lot in town and stuff. And it doesn't hold as much weight. You definitely benefit from it. It's a self-worth thing. Once you do it, you move on from caring about it, and I think that's the biggest thing about it. And I think you need to listen to that part. The fact is, getting Montreal, the biggest thing about getting JFL New Faces is you don't give a shit about it afterwards, because I put so much pressure on myself about how important it was. I needed to get it for validation that this is and that's not true.
So right now I'm just going to be going back and listening to some of my sets, trying to figure out what I want to do for 5 minutes. I have an idea. I just got to put it together and then start working it around town. And it's what I want to perform for the Just for Laughs New Faces auditions, and then hopefully I can get that, and then also hopefully I can submit that 5 minutes for Conan. That would be the idea. So we'll see.
There's a ton of comedians I could name that didn't do JFL New Faces. So it doesn't matter how many comics will tell you it doesn't matter. You can't get rid of it. And I realize that because everybody's always like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter who tells you that. And I've said it to younger comics too. I go, it doesn't matter. You can't get that out of your head. It does matter, and that's the fact. The fact is, it matters to any comedian within the first 5, 6, 7 years of their career who are starting out and they get to audition. If you don't get to audition, yeah, it sucks. You want it, and I could sit here and go, hey, it doesn't matter. You're not going to listen to me anyways. So let's just go with it does matter for your mental health. It matters because you want it, and we all want it. And even people who've never had it want it. And until they find their success other ways, you get your affirmation. There's things I want right now that I don't have, and you move on, you live. It's life. Not everything's gonna go your way, but I understand how comics are always going to put weight on it. And that's what JFL did. They fucking made it to where they're so important. And right before the coronavirus, they were doing some auditions, and I felt that energy around the shows. Like, there's these comics like, oh, I hope it works out for me. And I remember being in that situation and be like, so stupid how much weight I put on it. I put so much weight on it that even when I got to to JFL, I didn't have good shows. I had one horrible one and then just a mediocre set. It did nothing because of how much pressure I put on myself, thinking like that this is the end. This is it. This is gonna change my life. And does it change people's life? Some. Most people know. You know what changes their life? Doing what they've been doing. A lot of the people in my JFL class already were doing stuff. Had booked stuff. Had already done a lot of stuff. So that's just to let you know. I was one of the only guys who had not done late night out of the new faces. Think about that. So, there's just like we'll go into that whole process. And I auditioned 3 years in a row, and I got it the third year. The first year, I remember, like I went in and I had good sets.
Here we are in Santa Monica at the West Side Comedy Theater. Tonight is the first audition for Montreal's New Faces, Just for Laughs. Excited. Feel good about what I'm going to do. It's going to be fun. See how it goes.
I thought we're good. You know what I mean? At the time, me preparing what I wanted to do. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm going to work on this 5 minutes. And then I'm going to do the 5 minutes I'm going to do. I'm going to do this 5 minutes. And then I'm going to get JFL, and then I'm going to do late night. That's be the late night set as well. That's the process I thought. So that's what I was trying to do. And the first year, I think I would have to go back through the notes to look at it. Like, I have some video notes of going through the process of auditioning.
So pretty sure I did not get Montreal New Faces this year. Been hearing around town from a few people that they got the call that they got it. So that's that. Disappointed a little bit, but there's nothing you can do. If you soak in this, then you only hurt yourself, and it doesn't matter. It's not your time. This is me just telling myself this out loud. I'm not telling you guys what's right and what's wrong, but I guess that's the best attitude to have coming out of this. I really thought I had a great chance. I thought I had a great set. A lot of things are out of your control, and you can only do you. So there's next year, and then even if that doesn't happen, got to keep creating, keep writing, doing things to that make me feel good about myself and make me feel happy. But definitely disappointed.
Some of them, they're all at different rooms, and sometimes they're at rooms that are horrible. The Improv Lab is a horrible room. The year I got JFL, I had to go first on the callbacks. I went first, bombed, walked out of there. I didn't bomb. I just walked out of there and go, okay, well, no one's fucking with me there. And then I got it, and in my head it made me realize maybe if they have an idea that they're going to pick someone, they just put them first because it's a harder spot. That's what I was thinking after I had gotten it. I didn't think I was going to get it. I found out late June. I found out like June 10th that I got it, and JFL's July. Like, I found out real late. But I got it, and but yeah, the year I got it, the year before that, my callback, I'll post that callback. I'll post the whole set.
How do you feel about the host doing time in between each comedy?
You know what, man? He's got to knock that off. Just keep it going, Why are you doing time in between?
This isn't your showcase.
Yeah, we're all getting fucking wild up here.
One more time for John Campanelli and his hour special that we got to see tonight. One more time for that. Really good, man. Really good. I think it's ready for Netflix. We got to get that on there. Good hour special. It's broken up like on commercials, so maybe we'll put it on Comedy Central, but it's still going to work out. Guys, give it up for the single people in here. Sure, let's do that one. Single, cool. Single 30-year-olds in here? I'm 30, single. Oh, we got 30 single? Okay, one other shitty person in here? That's what we are. You're a shitty person. So am I, but that's how it is. That means we dated our whole life, and everyone that we dated was like, I'm good. That's what that means. That's how shitty of a person we are. Imagine if we're 35 and single, then it's like, uh-oh, kill yourself. If you make it to 40 and you're still single, it's like, you probably saw a professional help, and you're like, can you fix this? And they're like, no. That's how shitty of a person you are. I'm not good at relationships. Last girl I was dating, she broke up with me, and because I'm a shitty person, and 3 weeks later started dating a professional football player. All right, you win. Good choice, I get it, I'm not even gay and I'm dating a professional football player. That's awesome. So after I found out, I did the only thing I could. I went home and I deleted him off of Madden. I was like, whatever, bro, you can have it. You're just not going to be part of my dynasty. That's how I look at it. She had a great excuse when she broke up with me, too. She's like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I was like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? She goes, there's a difference. I used to wake up every day and see a future with you, and that was me being in love with you. I don't feel that way anymore, and I think it's time for us to move on, but I always love you as a person. I was like, that's like me saying I'm not in debt, but I have debt. Like, I can't walk into a bank and go up to the teller and be like, listen, I got a lot of debt with you, but I'm not in debt with you. She'll be like, what are you talking about? There's a difference. I used to wake up every day and see a future with you, and that's when I made payments, and that was me being in debt with you. I don't feel that way anymore, and I think it's time for us to move on, so I'm going to stop making payments, but I'll always have debt with you. Thank you. Thank you. Clap for my pain and my broken heart. Thank you. I have so much debt. Oh well, oopsie. You know why? My student loans. Yeah, so far, biggest mistake of my life, going to college. I would have been better off getting 4 DUIs. I'd be better off financially, and I'd be a better person. You know what makes you stop drinking? 4 DUIs. You know what makes you an alcoholic? $80,000 in student loan debt you'll never pay off. I try every month. I'm like, here's $300. How much do I owe you guys now? They're like, the same amount. What the fuck, Sally Mae? Really? This is how you're gonna run my life? What are you, the mafia? At this point, just break both my legs. We'll call it even. That would be better. What happened to that guy? Why is he in a wheelchair? I don't know, man. We don't talk about it. But he's going for his master's. Guys, I don't even have a car. I'm a 30-year-old on a scooter. You know what the worst part about having a scooter is? Being stuck at a red light while a homeless man begs for change. I'm just right there next to him. How's your day? That's a bad question. At least in a car, you can pretend to be on the radio and put your head down like, honey, don't make eye contact. I'll walk by us shortly. What station is this? This guy could just come up and tap me on the shoulder. Like, hey, bro, I can't help you out. I'm 2 tires away from being you. I don't have a cup holder full of change. Maybe hop on the back. I'll take you to a better intersection. Sometimes they don't even say anything to me. They just walk up and go, I get it, and walk right by. I live in a studio apartment with a dog, and in his world, I just upgraded his cage and moved in with him. He's like, hey, bro, I told you the deal was get me some tennis balls and treats, and you've just been taking shits in my water bowl all week. That wasn't the deal. He's like a pit mix, so like the worst guard dog ever too. Like if someone broke in my house and was like, I'm here to kill someone, he'd be like, oh, let me show you where my owner sleeps. It's right over there. Like what? Be like a guard dog and say, he's like, hi, how are you? Just for everyone, just shakes his whole ass. Like he's the Ricky Martin of dogs. Like if he was a human, he'd be Puerto Rican. He'd just be like, hi, how are you doing? Like he's gay, my dog's gay. I have a gay dog. Like look, straight dogs sit like this. Wolf. Like straight posture, you know? By the way, I'm 31. Swear, this is how my dog sits. Like a mermaid, bro. Like a female dog, just woofs, woofing, woofs. He's had the same bone for 7 years. He doesn't lick it, he just sucks it. He's like... fucking awesome. How come whenever you're watching a movie and there's a couple in the movie having sex, whenever they're done, they just immediately put their clothes back on and carry on with life? Like there's no cleanup. Like the guy will just be like, ugh! Alright, I gotta get back to work. Just make yourself at home. There's orange juice in the fridge. Like that never happens. Anytime I'm done having sex, it's like a Mission Impossible movie. It's a disaster. I'm like, it's dripping! Hurry up, get a towel! What are you doing? Hurry! She's like, I'm trying, it's dripping down! What do you want me to do? Not those towels, or the decorative towels, the other towels, the dick towels. She's like, stop yelling at me, I'll just turn the shower on. I hate you, we should see other people. Has that ever happened to you guys too? You ever just finish on a You ever just finish on a girl and they act like they saw a Tyrannosaurus Rex? They're like, don't move! It's going in my ass! You guys were great, thank you so much.
Because most of those jokes are online. This is my set from the callback the second year. Okay, I killed. I assure you, I got off and go, there's no reason I'm not going to get it. There's no reason I'm not going to get it. And I didn't get it. And I was shocked. So you never know, because it's a casting. It's casting. When you go, there's 2 straight white males. There's 2 gay white males. There's 2 lesbians. There's 2 black males. There's 2 Middle Easterns. There's 2 women Middle Easterns, or there's 2 groups of new faces that they separate the 2 groups in, and then there's Asian, Asian comedians, and then there's maybe Latinos. There's a Latino comedian, and then there's a musician or something, someone that does music. You know what I mean? If it was based off like who kills, it would never be like that. They just like our culture has created casting and forced casting to give everybody an opportunity based off of race, which I is fair. I don't know. I don't know what's fair. I think at the end of the day, listen, man, how about this? Becoming a professional athlete isn't casting. What? So what? So like the NBA and the NFL doesn't go, well, make sure there's a black quarterback drafted, a white quarterback drafted, a gay quarterback drafted. That would be ridiculous. At the end of the day, it's the best motherfucking athlete gets drafted because he's the best, and that's what they want. That's not how fucking casting works in LA, which is stupid. The best fucking actor should book the role. The best fucking comedian, or the best comedian of the group, whoever does the best consistently, should go. That's how it should fucking be. But we can't, because of this culture they've created. You gotta check off all the boxes. So I want you guys to understand that process. If you are a comedian, you gotta understand that. So you can't take this to heart or get offended anymore. That's why Montreal doesn't matter as much. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? You go up there and kill, that's fine. But now it's just like, you can't control it. You could kill and you're not going to get it. I killed the second year and I didn't get it. So, I mean, it's annoying, but like that's part of the process. I remember like the first year I was auditioning, I remember everyone telling me, you're not going to get it. I did well on the second show. Josh Adam Myers, he was hosting. He had done it the year before. I remember he even told me, he's like, dude, you did well, but like they're not going to give it to you your first year auditioning. Unless you're something like, he was just like, it's not going to happen. And everybody was right. You don't get it your first year. Some people do, though. Nobody knows. There's no rules. Nobody actually knows. Most people don't get it their first year, but some people come in and they get it their first year auditioning. So you got to be a couple years into in the scene. It's and then, so that was the first year. The second year, the first audition, I didn't do so well. But then I got the call back and I did great. And I was like, there's no reason I shouldn't get this. And I didn't get it. It was crazy. And then the third year, the first audition was whatever. I think that was where was it? I think it was at the Laugh Factory again.
What's up? Just hanging here at Coffee Bean. I have my first audition for JFL, year 3, at the Laugh Factory in about 10 minutes. Just gonna have fun, and that's all I can do at this point. Does it look like I don't care? I do. I just, I don't know what to expect anymore. But I am hopeful, even though it sounds like I'm not. I'm not tired either. I just always look like I'm tired. Alright, bye.
Maybe, which at the time is like my home club. I get up there the most. Or maybe it was in West Side Comedy Theater. And then the second one was in the Lab. And I didn't do well, but I had to go first. And I was just like, Jesus. And I was like, I'm over this. I remember getting off and walking away and be like, you know what? I'm done. This is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, why do I care so much? I go, I'm not getting it. I'm over this. I'm done trying. I was like, at this time, I was like 6 years in. Wait, I got 2017. So I'm like, I'm coming in on 7 years in. And I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to get it. And then I remember I ran into, one of the bookers, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to New York. He was like, why don't you hit me up? I'll get you on some shows. And part of me was like, why is he helping me? And I was like, maybe he wants me to, get practice to do well when I get to Montreal. And sure enough, I got it. And the feeling of getting it was amazing. You know what I mean? That was what you wanted. That as a comedian, you wanted that was everything you worked for. You like that feeling. And then that's it though. Then as every minute goes by, you want the next thing. And that's how this business is. And that's one thing from Chappelle to the first guy who's doing his first open mic have in common. You'll always want the next thing. It never stops. It doesn't stop. For Kevin Hart, I should say. It never stops. You want to, because that's the creativity as an artist. You want to keep, what's next? I want to keep going. I want to keep making. You're never going to sit in a chair and be like, I did it. I'm done. Hopefully. You're never going to be like, I'm done. It's not sports where you have to retire. There's no retirement in the arts. You keep going because you like creating. You form into other arts. There's a lot of performers that are into art and stuff like that. Like look at, Jim Carrey's a big into art now. You know what I mean? Like you don't know where your career is going to be in 20 years. A career is a long fucking time. Some of these guys started in stand up and 30 years later they're directing. You know what I mean? Like you don't know. You know that right now your passion is stand up or acting or whatever. But does that passion evolve or move into other things? Of course it does. A career in art is like a tree. I don't know where I've heard this before, but it's like a tree. It grows a trunk, right? It's pretty understanding. Okay, that's what it is. And then it becomes a tree and it branches off and it expands. And that's how rap is and music and stuff. It expands. Everything's influenced from what it grew into, right? It grows. Okay, that's the beginning of what it is. The trunk, it's the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. And everybody has their mark, and it expands and becomes influence. And then this huge tree with all these branches and all these leaves are all these influences and ideas of what art grows into. And that's how rap is too. And that's why no matter what, you'll always be like one of those dads who's like, I don't understand what music you're listening to. It doesn't, that will never fail. We're all going to be that person who doesn't, like I already don't relate to younger rap. That's fucking crazy. That's just how it is. And that's how comedy is. And comedy is subjective and everything expands and grows and you learn. So that's what I have to say about that. But the whole process, I mean, I'll show you some of the videos and you can see some of the stuff. I'm like so serious about it. Like I'm so serious and like concerned and I probably put a lot of weight on like myself thinking that this was so important that this would change my life. And like I said, does it? I guess. It makes you move on from it, so I guess that's the win. And I think that is for everything. Like I wanted to get a TV credit so bad. I was like, I want to be on a network show. I want to just act in one scene. I did it. Over with. Move on. And that's what it is. Everything after that, you start to realize you grow as an artist because you're like, you know what? I want to just do what I want to do. What's the easiest way for me to wake up whenever I want, go do stand-up as much as I can, and then come home and just do whatever I want. That's my fucking goal. I want to make money doing stand-up. I want to do this podcast. I want to, like, just say what I want. And that's a big part of it, and that's how you grow, and that's what it came to when doing podcasts. There's a big podcast boom, and everybody's starting their own ideas. This is what I love about this, is like I could do this when I want, I could talk about whatever I want, and I post it. And if people want to fucking listen, great. If they don't, I got 3 other people that are still gonna watch: my mom, my fucking friend, and my sister, and then me. I got 4 views at least. At the end of the day, I'm gonna get 4 views on this: my mom, my sister, me, and 1 friend. So that's good enough for me, that at least 3 people are listening. So fine. You know what I mean? Like that's all you want. You want an outlet. And if it grows, it grows. And if people love it and they gravitate towards it, that's amazing. Then that means you're inspiring people. That means you're connecting with people. And I guess that's something you want as an artist. But I think you want it a little bit, but sometimes I think the best artists just do it for themselves, and that's what we're doing. We're doing it for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like subconsciously, I've said this before, but like as I tell these stories, I'm reminding myself about how it was, and like I'm teaching myself again. You know what I mean? I'm making myself, I guess, better for this. So, that's the whole process, I think, of Montreal. I wish I had questions really to go in on it. I know a lot of comedians have hit me up on my DMs and we're talking about it, and I'm glad, man. That makes me feel good that there's younger comedians listening to this and stuff. So that's really cool. But we'll get to the Follow the Leader tour. I mean, we started that in 2018 in Tallahassee, FSU, which is kind of cool because like this tour was one of the biggest tours I've ever been on in my life, and probably will be. I mean, I can't imagine ever hitting something that hard again. Even if I go out with Chris on the next one, or if I have my own and stuff, like we were working so much. I mean, it was a 2-year tour. I mean, dude, it was the most fun I've ever had. I mean, first of all, it's cool that it started where I went to college in FSU. That was the first date. I got to go back to FSU and do stand up for the first time. I hope I have some footage of that. And then it was just all theaters. I think a couple clubs were in there, but like we're doing huge theaters. Like at this point now, Chris is doing like 4,000 seaters, some 5,000. We did Carnegie Hall. And I mean, you're really learning how to become a performer. The confidence you gain when you can walk out in front of 3,000 people and you're like, I'm about to rip this room. I just know how it is. That nothing makes you grow as a comic than the road, than learning. Like you get past needing affirmation from peers. Like if I know, like there's like if someone was like, yo, you got to go up in front of 10,000 people right now. Like stop the podcast, go up right now. I'm like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna do so good. You know what I mean? Once you get to that mentality part, then when you go up in town at the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store, you don't even give a fuck. You're like, yo, I'm going to do fine. There's nothing that I could start slow for 4 minutes. I'm going to fucking get this crowd. There's no doubt. Like, I've done these jokes so many times. It's so polished. You learn how to build a routine. You want to have a routine, man. You learn that's the game. You watch all these fucking great guys go up and they do 15 minutes. You go watch them the next night, the next night, the next night. You're going to see the same set, maybe with a little different twerks and stuff. It's like you learn the muscle, you learn the game. You're not just throwing shit at a wall and hope it works. Like you learn how you watch someone build an hour. It's like I was like, oh wow, I can't wait to do an hour. I'm doing 20 minutes here, 25 minutes there. I'm doing, my 20 minutes is evolving. Like in 2000, at the end of 2019 or 19, I put out 20 minutes on YouTube. It's called Unedited by Michael Lenoci. I put that out. I was like, I got to move on from this bit. Nobody's taking it. I'm not getting a half-hour special. I go, I don't want to be one of those comics who's just like stale and is doing the same set. I was like, move on from it. You're only going to get better. And so I started a new 20, and it was like, I was like, okay, it was rough. I would have rougher sets, but like if you can sit there and work yourself through it of not having a great set and not being able to kill, and then build that 20 minutes to make it even stronger, which I did. I was like, oh, I'm invincible. I could do this forever. That was like huge for me. I was like, I can move on from shit and be okay with not doing that well and know that I trust my work ethic to make it stronger, and it will get better. And that's what I did. That's what I had to do because I was touring with him. So we're going to similar cities that we did in like 2017. So I want new material for them too. If he's bringing a new hour, I should bring a new 20. If we're going to the same cities, that's part of the pressure. Now, you don't always have to be like that, but like then I was like, oh, how do I learn how to do an hour? And then when I finally started doing an hour, that's like, that alone was amazing. You know what I mean? Like that's a whole new muscle, a whole new way to learn. And you really learn about how it's you're not just killing a whole hour. You're like, you want to tell a story. It becomes like, I don't know. I'm at the beginning of it. I've only done an hour maybe 10 times. And it's like, you know, you go into a pocket where you're like kind of connected to them. They're listening. But then there's a part where you can get it going for a while. At the end of the day, what I've learned so far is like, I just want them to have a good time. I want to put on a good show, whatever that might be. And like, I would get to like 45, 50 minutes and I was kind of done. And then I would just be like, yo, do you guys want to do like Q&As? I didn't have an hour. I'm doing 45 minutes right now. And I would be like, yo, what do you guys want? You guys want to talk? And then we would just chat. And people were cool. Because, I mean, I'm only doing like 150 here, 180 in Boston. Like, so it's just like chill. It's like, hey, how's everyone doing? So, I mean, that's a new part of that. And I think that's cool. But, like, go back to, like, the whole touring and stuff and these shows and you know, we got some footage of us, like, just the hang and having a good time. It makes you realize, like, what do you really want out of life? Like, who gives a fuck what anyone thinks?
Oh, Michael, just leave him be. That's what my mom said.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael, leave him be. People are different. Let them be different. Hi, I'm Michael Lenoci, and this is the Follow the Leader tour. I'm the opener, number 2 today. We have another one over here. I'm having a blast because the food's great. Everybody's in a good mood. We think. We're not really sure. We'll find out. Oh, no.
I just want to have a good time. You know what I mean? Like big part of the whole tour was, you know, it'd be me and Chris hanging out. Sometimes Mark was there or our buddy Craig, and we're just like laughing, enjoying life. And I think that's the most important thing you got to understand about it is like detach yourself away from the business part of it. You know what I mean? Like fucking at the end of the day, what do you want? You want to be happy. You want to make money doing what you want, and you're hanging out with your friends, having a good time, and that's what it is. It's like shots of us just like laughing at each other, making fun of each other, and I think that's what's important. And as a comedian or an artist or in anything you do in life, you have to really ask yourself, what am I really chasing? Why am I doing this? What is this for? And at the end of the day, you know, years from now when I look back, does it matter what anyone else thought? No, you want to just be like, wow, I fucking had a good time. I did it the way I wanted to do it. I'm doing everything because I'm having a good time. A lot of people will tell me stuff like this, like I started opening for Chris in 2013, right? It's 2020. I'm still opening for him. I'm starting to do my own one-nighters and hours, but I still open. And I can't tell you how many people will go, how long are you going to open for him? Don't you think it's time to... Why? Why? You think it's making me worse as a comic? I'm getting more stage time. I'm pushing myself to write more. So many people will be like, you can't always open for him. Sure, because maybe I'll be busy with my own shit, which I'll have my own dates. But in the meantime, that motherfucker's getting so big. Why would you so you want me to not do Madison Square Garden? In 2 years when Chris does Madison Square Garden, I should be like, no, I can't, man. It's time for me to move on. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody knows anything. There's no rules. So people will be like, oh, you're just an opener. Okay, fine. I'm just an opener. I'll be an opener. I'm fucking coming in on 10 years in. Sebastian's fucking 25 years into comedy. All these other guys have been doing comedy 20 years. Come talk to me when I'm 20 years in. And you're like, dude, you're so good. How much stage time have you had? Well, I fucking opened for a long time and I got such good stage time. Instead, you were doing 5-minute bar shows in the Valley, and I fucking kept working because you guys were, you're going to still open for him? I guess. What else am I supposed to do? Not open for him? Like, people will tell you things that they think. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything in this industry. They don't fucking know how anything works. Nobody knows how anything works. Bro, arguably the best sketch writer in stand-up comedy, Bill Burr will tell you this, okay? from every comedian will tell you this. Theo, Chris, Bobby Lee, Ed, Bert Kreischer, every single huge comedian that you know, all these theater acts will tell you, if you're like, yo, who are some of the best sketch writing stand-up comedians? All of them will probably say Fahim Anwar. Yet Netflix has a sketch show with Eliza because she's popular, right? So a sketch was never part of her thing. Eliza's a stand-up comedian. She worked her ass off, and she's doing very well, and all power to her. But she, even when she was coming up, nobody was like, oh, have you seen her sketches she put out on YouTube? That wasn't her fucking lane. But they'll give it to, that's how much the industry has no idea that someone like Bill Burr would be like, oh, this Fahim's a phenomenal, like the best of the best right now in the business would be like, yeah, that guy's really great at his sketch writing and stuff like that. Everybody would tell you that. That's how, and he doesn't have his own show. That's how much nobody gives a fuck. You can never chase Suits. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They're just like, yeah, whatever's popular. The fucking Suits in this business, Suits in fucking comedy are just like dorks that were like, we want to be a part of the cool crowd. You know what I mean? They're just fans. They're just fucking fans who are like, and they have a taste, but if nobody else has that taste, then they're scared. They're scared to take chances until everybody fucking has their vote in. When everybody has their vote in, they're like, oh yeah, well, we've always known that. All right, motherfucker. Give this guy a sketch show. Hello? What are you doing? I mean, people who, Neil Brennan, co-created fucking Chappelle Show, would fucking go to bat for this kid. Everybody knows how good it is. So you can't ever fucking chase the fucking Suits or give a shit what they think, because they have no fucking idea, bro. They have their job is they want to make money. How are you gonna make money off of me? You can't. You can't make money off a lot of people. So you can't be offended when these fucking industry people don't fuck with you. You're not worth money yet. Doesn't mean you're not funny. It's also not anyone's job to believe in you. Nobody's supposed to believe in you. Your mom is supposed to believe in you, and yourself. Not even your friends are supposed to believe in you. They're like, yeah, he's funny, but they're not going to believe in your actual long-term goals. Like, if you said out loud, like, dude, I want to sell out Madison Square Garden one day. If I say that out loud, I want to sell out Madison Square Garden. If I say that in front of a bunch of my peers, they'll be like, shut the fuck up, you never will. That's just life. It's not being a dick, but they're not supposed to. A manager or a fucking executive or a casting director, they're not supposed to believe in you. That's not their job. They have their own dreams. A fucking manager has his own dream of being the biggest manager. Like, he's got to worry about his own dreams. So you want him to fucking jump on board with you, make your shit fucking, make him see you then. You know what I mean? But, like, you can't get bitter. I used to be like that. I used to be like, well, they don't fucking think I'm funny. I'll show, like, how can they? They got their own fucking dreams. They got their own mom and dads. You can't fucking get upset or worried about that or think about that shit. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing I want to take away from the Follow Leader Tour was like how happy I was. I was so happy, and it was like, it made me realize this is what I want in life. I want to be able to sell tickets, just do stand up and make money, and then do this. Let me fucking, instead of doing this in my room, I have a separate podcast room. And this chair, Chris didn't give me. I give this to somebody else. I give it away to one of the kids that DM'd me. And I have my own little studio, and I just do stand-up. I come back, I talk to you guys. I have like a little podcast YouTube show. And if somebody wants me to act in their project, they hit me up. If I have to put it on tape, sure. But like, I'm just doing things that make me happy. And then I'm hanging around my family and friends. And I'm having a good time. And I have like everything I could imagine. And, you know, and I'm a part of the Miami Dolphins. But I mean, it's just like, at the end of the day, that's what you got to realize and stop giving a fuck about what people think. But yeah, so I mean, the headlining thing is just like, now we're here, you know. Now it's just like, unfortunately, we're at the coronavirus time, and I had to cancel one of my dates. And when this is all over, I look forward to that the most, of learning to be doing something for almost 10 years and then realizing that there's a whole new thing to learn. A whole new chapter that you couldn't learn even if you wanted to. You could have been like, hey, go do it, but you can't. You can't learn how to do an hour. You could go find a place that will let you do an hour, but it doesn't mean you're learning. You don't learn how to do an hour until you get a lot of reps at it. It's like doing 20 minutes. Like, I could do 20 minutes like that. I could do 10 like that. I could do 5 like that. Hey, Mike, go do this set. How long do I have to do that? Bam. I already know what set I'm doing. Mike, go do 8 minutes. 8 minutes? Okay. Bam. I got the set I'm going to do. That's how quick it is. Oh, you got to go do 15 over there. 15? Bam, I got my set. 20? Bam, got my set. 25? Okay, got my set. 35? Hold on, let me think. an hour 45. Let me figure it out. Let me try to learn. Doing an hour, okay. Now let me learn about this. It's a new thing to learn, bro. You can't say, "Oh, I have 45. I have an hour." No, you don't, dude. Not the way you. Not a polished one. Not a one where it's a routine, a fucking hour-long routine. To watch someone do that, now when you watch a special on Netflix and you watch someone thread through it, nice and beautiful. I watched one of the guys who's the best in the business do it, and that you're gonna see it. No pain. You're gonna watch it because I watched it. Him work on it and play with it, and like I would have some ideas and I'd throw them and share them with him, but like to watch how quickly that went into work. I mean, what did he do? He just kept doing it. He did the hour so many times. He did it 300, 400 times. Do an hour 400 times. I did my 20 minutes 400 times, and then that's how you polish something, but you learn. And every time you move on from material, you grow. You grow as a person and as an artist. And you might not feel like it kills as hard as your old stuff, but you are growing and you're becoming better. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So I mean, that's pretty much summing up this whole 10 years later part. Is like what I've learned and what I'm excited about, and like again, if this inspires people, that's awesome and I'm excited about it. But I think that's cool. I think that we can all like learn from this a little bit. Like I hope that I hope for sure that people are inspired by this, and that will be cool. And thank you for everybody that's participated in this and watched and shared it. And if you share it, that's awesome. I appreciate it. But this was part 3, and I'm excited because now the next episode's going forward, we'll just be going back to, we'll go back to my life and my everyday shit and how I'm getting through quarantine. I think the next episode will be week 5 of quarantine or whatever. But like, I think I found a way that I want to do this podcast of like cutting in videos. Like I have videos with me and my roommate this week, and we'll kind of talk about the things that annoyed me, and we'll cut into it, and it will be funny. But I'm excited for this podcast to grow, and I hope you guys are too. And I appreciate all you new listeners. And again, just leave those 5-star reviews, subscribe on YouTube, and also if you guys could just check out the Patreon if you want. But if this grows, hopefully I'll create merch from it. But yeah, I mean, I've had a good time, and I'm very thankful for everything I had. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. So keep checking me out. Thank you so much.